Hello everybody. I'm new to posting videos on YouTube. I do have a TikTok channel, but I have kind of deleted that for a minute, stepping away from the social media scene. A few people have kind of suggested that I start making videos because I have a lot to say, and they seem to think that maybe my words or my talks, my testimony could help people. And this is just another avenue. I like to talk, so I think this would be another way for me to express myself. Whether I get a lot of views or if I don't, I think that this will help me either way, just to get it out. So for starters, my name is Cornelia. I'm 30 years old, and right now I am deciding to go through a healing journey. Healing from a broken heart, healing from trauma, from self-sabotage, just a lot of things that I have had to deal with in the course of my life. So at the very early age that I can remember, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, I experienced sexual abuse or sexual assault by a close family member. Throughout my my younger years before I was a teenager, I can remember at least 2 or 3 other incidences where it wasn't so much hostile, but it was still sexual abuse. I didn't understand it at that time, but now that I'm older, I do understand that. Graduated high school, let me back up a little bit more. Around my 4th grade to my 6th grade year, I think it was, I'm not good with dates. I experienced sexual assault from my stepfather. Finally got the courage to tell my mother about it or whatever. I ended up going to foster care for about a couple of months. Went from foster care to live with my father. Life was pretty good, but he wasn't a deadbeat dad, but he had a life of his own. So it wasn't like that one-on-one time. So it's kind of like I was raising myself at one point, even though I do have a pretty good relationship with my father. There's some things that are kind of like, whatever. I didn't really get the fathering that I needed from him. Into adulthood, I started having children. I got married, got divorced, entered another relationship, experienced different things within that, other types of abuse as far as domestic violence and stuff like that. And here I am today. So the biggest thing that I've had to deal with, believe it or not, is not the divorce, actually. It's been the last relationship. You would think that being that there was domestic violence involved with that it would be easy to walk away and that your heart would no longer desire to want those things, but that's not the case. Because even though some, terrible things happen within the relationship, I still know the good side or the good qualities that I experienced. And I've had to go from victim to victor to understanding that I wasn't always perfect within the relationship, that I can't just consistently blame, domestic violence for the demise of that relationship. I had some bad qualities. He had some bad qualities. And it wasn't until I just recently decided to heal and deal with everything to be a complete whole person so that I don't continue to repeat cycles that I understood that, yeah, he may have been toxic, but you were toxic as well, sis. You ain't got it all together. Yeah, it tastes like vinegar saying that. But it's true. I was toxic in putting the demands of somebody else to make me feel whole and complete. I was toxic in the fact that when I got into that relationship, I wasn't completely honest about the fact that I didn't want to get into a relationship. I didn't get into the relationship for him, to love him. I got into the relationship for him to love me, to make me feel better about myself. I did not know that going into it, like that was the real issue. But over the years, that's what I've learned, whether that be through conversations with him. But it wasn't until I separated from him, had time to experience, other situationships, and to really sit down and have talks with myself, listen to different sermons to where they like really dig apart. Just a little side note. If you have never heard of Jerry Flowers, Redefined TV, him and his wife Tanisha Flowers, please, after this video, please go check them out. Their series of heart rehab is what took the foggers off of these contacts. You hear me? They got my life together. They made me realize you have some work to do. You have been false healed. You understand? That, along with me seeing my ex move on to another relationship it wasn't until I saw him with his new girlfriend that I realized you ain't let that go. If you let it go, you would not feel a certain type of way when you see every single, even, and I'm just gonna be honest, up until this day, every single time that I see them together, it takes me back to day one of a heartbreak. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it, like for real. Less than an hour ago, I had to lay on my floor, face down, and just meditate and pray and cry and just beg God. And I'm trying not to get emotional right now just thinking about it, but begging God. And it's not until I've never, ever been to this place of just like raw emotions. Not trying to hold the tears back anytime you feel it. I've never been to this place. So that's how I know that it has to be God, like truly dealing with and working with me. And I chose to do this for real, because I want to experience freedom. I know that God has a work for me to do. I know that he has a purpose for me, and I cannot be a witness. I cannot tell my testimony. I cannot reach out and try to grab other people from the pits. I can't pull somebody else out of their misery. I can't help pull somebody up and tell them about how God is a healer if I don't allow him to heal me. So I'm going to build my platform just as a speaker, just as a sister. I'm not proclaiming to be a minister of any kind, y'all. Don't do that. That ain't my calling. But I feel that I have a heart for people. I have the heart to talk. So it's just like, if you are in the midst of a heartbreak, and if you are trying to really get over a situation, whether that's a heartbreak from a romantic relationship, heartbreak from a friendship, heartbreak from any kind of relationship whatsoever that has taken a toll, that you gave your heart, that you poured out, that it wasn't always good for you, you wasn't always good for them, your best bet, what's going to carry you through and what's been carrying me through, is holding on to God, praying consistently. That's been the verse of the day. Pray consistently anytime you feel like. But along with praying, do not stifle your emotions. Don't hide it. Don't cover it up. Don't try to throw it under the rug, because you are prolonging your healing and it's just going to make it worse. Feel it. You have to go through it to get through it. You have to go through your emotions. You have to allow yourself to feel all of that. So I'm here. This is just day one. With y'all, we're just gonna start at this is gonna be day one. I'm gonna check in as often as I can remember, y'all, because I have 4 children, so life is a lot hectic right now. But I'm gonna try to do at least every day or every other day, or at least once a week. I put it that way. So please like, subscribe, share. Let's do this thing together. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and let's see how this goes. Peace and love, y'all.